Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be blessed with some great weather today, right? I'm John Augustine, a longtime board member with the Legislative Evaluation Assembly of Minnesota, a nonprofit, nonpartisan grassroots educational organization established way back in 1972 to inform citizens of Minnesota government and on the performance of their state legislature. We're best known for putting out an annual report on the Minnesota legislature, annual report and scorecard. It gives you detailed information about bills, likely impacts, and our principled reasons why we oppose or favor the bills. We have a booth back there. I encourage you to take a look at it. Also look at our website, www.lea-mn.org, to get more information. Besides our annual reports, we have some other writings about the last couple of years of the revolution that took place here in Minnesota government, and that we really need to push back against here on the election day here and in the coming years. So, as I said, we're grassroots driven and supported. It's just $10 to become an annual member. You get the reports, you get information about our annual banquet, where we present awards to the legislators that score highest in the previous year's report. We evaluate all 201 legislators every year, and this year we had 11 that received honorary status to be eligible for awards at the banquet. So it's we have people from all walks of life that are involved in doing this. If you have a nose for research and writing, we certainly use your help. We have people with educational backgrounds, business backgrounds, theological backgrounds, science backgrounds, people who have worked in government. We all get together a lot of times during the summer after the legislature is out of session to evaluate their work and put out a report for the citizens to learn more about their government. So I just want to focus on 3 issues today that we included in our recent reports. One is we were the first organization to sound the alarm about the constitutional expansion of the Lottery Trust Fund. Others have joined the call this year, not with huge ad campaigns, but just word of mouth and posting, spreading information. I encourage you to do that. In 2023 report, we talked about how we oppose these amendments because the purpose of a constitution is to provide the framework for government and processes and not a tool to circumvent the legislature's role in funding decisions. That's the prerogative of the legislature. And when you do that, it's bad for fiscal accountability. Then on the top of that, this particular expansion of the amendment creates a community grant advisory council, a new 1.5% allotment, about $20 million in 2025. Council must include members of the Ojibwe tribe, 2 members of the Dakota tribe, 4 other members who identify as members of communities of color. So you have basically a DEI slush fund that they're using to siphon off lottery trust funds for so-called environmental projects, and it's independent of need. And there's none of this information, by the way, is going to be on the ballot. When you actually look at the ballot question, it just talks about reauthorizing the trust fund. It doesn't tell you any of these details. So I encourage you to oppose that. Also, another bill that we looked at this year was the misnamed Educational Supplemental Budget Bill. This is misnamed. First of all, why we need a supplemental budget when we raised the budget 40% last year. But we also have they removed the conscientious objector exemption for scheduled vaccinations for licensed child care centers that try to do that. That was involved in this supplemental budget bill. They also created a new health content standard. They just had done a social studies standard rewrite. This is going to be a new health content standard dictated by the state. So we have to be involved in that. And finally, talk about elections briefly. They've passed 4 bills in the last year, and we already had some of the most liberal election laws in the state. And now this year, on top of that, well, I'll wrap up very shortly. On top of that, we have another election bill. We haven't had an election since. And it basically enshrines cultural Marxism over election integrity. And if you think I'm exaggerating, it creates for protected classes a legal remedy to challenge relitigate elections. So they can, for polarized voting not representing protected classes, the Attorney General or other groups can go to court and challenge the elections. They can relitigate. They can require redistricting, alternative polling places, different forms of voting, such as ranked choice voting. This is all in law. They're not using it this year, but if they lose power, it's a tool they have to weaponize against us. So, and they know when they pass these things, it's much harder to repeal them. But we have to get people in there that represent us that can help repeal some of the damage and stand up for all of us that are out here today. So thank you for listening, and check out our booth, and hope the election goes well.